Pushing Back the Shadows, support and awareness for mental health. Hello and welcome to episode 54 of the Pushing Back the Shadows podcast. My name's Alex Davis, I'm the founder of Pushing Back the Shadows. So, was thinking about a couple of different things to talk to you about today, but one thing kind of kept coming back to me, and that was this concept of what we're worth. Now, for those of you who follow the work we do, you'll have seen a couple of times I've said about being quite an avid gamer, mostly where things like Fallout or the Elder Scrolls are concerned, but also a couple of other games as well. But it's those two that I kind of want to focus on for a moment. Now, I talked about how these kind of help me if I'm not feeling so good in terms of my mental health. You know, playing a game is often really, really good because it gives me that little bit of escapism, if you like. It gives me that that chance to get out of my own head and into the head of another character, somebody completely different, because really with these games you can be whoever you want. Okay, yeah, you've got a storyline to follow, but take the Elder Scrolls, for example. You can be like a stealthy thief or assassin, you can be a fighter, proud warrior, you can be a mage. There are plenty of different avenues, different character types that you can explore. And you can, certainly in the later games, you can customise them extensively, these characters, different looks, different body types, different hairstyles, loads and loads of different things. So, they can be really therapeutic. I know going around, collecting bounties and killing things and so on doesn't sound therapeutic, but it has an appeal, trust me. Now, one aspect of these games is, because there are many, is that, like in the real world, you can scavenge things, take them to a merchant in one of the towns, or in the case of, certainly in the case of Fallout, one of the roaming travelling merchants, and you can sell these things. You know, kind of one man's junk is another man's treasure, that sort of thing. And likewise, you can buy stuff, and this kind of works in two ways. You can either pay for the items that you're trying to pick up directly, or you can work on a bit of a barter exchange type thing. That is to say, you know, you pick the items that you want from their inventory, and then you trade them for items that you've got that work out to roughly a similar value. It's what I tend to do, and it works quite well. But so I was talking with this one trader in the game, and I was looking at a particular item. And this item, she wanted quite I felt it was quite an extortionate amount of money for it. And I'm sat there looking at this item going, well, hang on a minute. There's no way that item is worth what you're trying to charge me for. No way. So that's kind of what I want to look at today. Not the extortionate buying and selling system in Fallout 4, but more along the lines of worth, value. Because what would you say you're worth? And what would you say you deserve? What would you say you deserve? Because I think you'd all agree that we look at ourselves and we might think, no, we're not worth it. We don't deserve it. Whatever it might be. And I don't mean it in the case of, you know, all the rubbish that life throws at us. You know, the bad day, the bad job, the whatever. And we think, oh, no, come on, I don't deserve this. I deserve so much more, so much better. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we look at the good things that we have in life and we go, but why? I don't deserve them. Do you feel like that? Does that sum up you? You look at yourself and you think, yeah, I'm not worth anything, I don't amount to anything, so I don't deserve the good things that happen. It may hit closer to home than we might like. It may hit much closer to home than we'd like, because we do have a tendency to devalue ourselves. And this, it's kind of whether we like to admit it or not. Because I know some people don't like to admit it. But the truth is, no matter which way we kind of try and phrase it, we devalue ourselves. Don't we? We devalue ourselves because we don't think we're worth much. It's very easy to drag up all the mistakes that we've made, all the things that we've done wrong, the things that we haven't done that we should have done. It's easy to look at what other people have and say, do you know what, they're so much better. They deserve all the good things that come to them. They're brilliant. They're wonderful people. And yet, when it comes to ourselves, we are our own harshest critics. But what are you actually worth? I know I don't know you. Well, not all of you. I do know some of the listeners that we get. But I don't know all of you. And yet I'd say you are worth so much more than you think you are. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. You possess attributes that nobody else does. Because each one of us is unique. We're not all clones of some person. We're not, peas in a pod. Yeah, okay, some of us are like the spitting image of our sibling or our parent or something. But we are all different. We all have that uniqueness to us. And we have a place and a purpose in this world. Now, you can argue purpose with me until the cows come home, but I've done that in a separate episode, which I'll link. But we have a place in the world. We look at the world, and without any given one of us, the world wouldn't be the same place. So I'll ask again, what do you say that you're worth? You're listening to Pushing Back the Shadows. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We devalue ourselves. It doesn't matter what we do, be that as a job or a hobby or something, we devalue ourselves. We think that we're not quite as good at what we do as other people. We think, maybe everybody else is better than us. And yet, there are things that we have, things that we do, things that are a part of us. That nobody else has. Okay? You possess qualities that nobody else does. You have skills that maybe other people don't. talents? I don't know. There is something, I can almost guarantee, something that sets you apart. Maybe you're a great writer, a great painter. Maybe you are good at playing instruments. Maybe you're kind, a great listening ear. You have good advice. There are always things about us that set us apart. And you look at the people around you, the people who you would call a friend, people who would call you a friend. A lot of those people see something in you that makes them want to be your friend. They see something in you. And one of the things that it's important to note is that normally people who see something in you might want to do nice things for you. And just because they want to do nice things and you don't think much of yourself does not mean that you are not worth it, that you don't deserve it. Because we all deserve far much more than we think we do. We are worth much more than we think we are. And it may only be for something small, something seemingly insignificant, something, I don't know, perhaps inconsequential. But to somebody else, that inconsequential thing could mean the world. Somebody once said to me on Twitter, and this is actually not that long ago, I was doing the interactions, as I do, just chatting to people, finding out how their days are going, what I can do to help, that sort of thing. And somebody thanked me for reaching out, for offering that listening ear. Because they said, it may seem like something small and unimportant to me, but to them, it meant the world. And that kind of sums up what I'm trying to say here. You might not be able to see your own worth, but other people can. You may think that you don't deserve what other people do for you, but those other people do. And you might think that the things you do or say are small, inconsequential, but actually, to other people, they might be the most important thing that anybody's ever done for them. We don't know the effect of our actions. We don't know, necessarily, what other people see in us. But the truth is, we are so much more than we would believe. You are worth so much more than your head would tell you. And you deserve good things. So think on that. What do you say you're worth? And then look to a few other people. The ones who appreciate the things you do. And ask yourself, what do they say that you're worth? You may only be one person to the world, but you might be the world to one person. I'll leave you with that thought. You guys take care, have a great week, and I shall catch you next week for episode 55 of the Pushing Back the Shadows podcast. Take care, guys. You've been listening to Pushing Back the Shadows. To find out more, head over to pushingbacktheshadows.com and hit subscribe to get all of our latest updates straight to your inbox. Alternatively, connect with us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Alex Davis PBTS, or you can visit us on Twitter at Alex Davis PBTS. Enable Pushing Back the Shadows to continue supporting people in the mental health community, their friends and their family. By pledging just $1 a month, you could help us to continue supporting people with depression, with anxiety, with bipolar and other mental illnesses. You can also unlock exclusive rewards, behind the scenes, sneak previews of upcoming posts and much, much more. So head over to www.patreon.com/Alex Davis PBTS to find out more.